Hello, everyone. This is Justin, Tame Type 1. And yes, folks, we are back. Back in action and back better than ever. And I have some wonderful updates to share with you. And I also like to explain why I stopped making videos for a hot minute there. Some of you might be wondering, hey, what happened? I love your content, Justin. Where are the videos? What's going on? Well, I'll explain that story in a minute. But first, let's go over some new updates we're doing. First off, you might have noticed I've changed my profile picture a little bit using a new font, trying to get all fancy. Along with that, we're going to try to make more videos, better videos, more exciting content, and we're going to get a bit more spicy with the topics. Before, I was very bland and polite and not offensive, and I think it's about time we change it up. At this point, why not, right? So we're going to get more spicy with what I talk about. I'm going to be more open with my opinions on certain things. And it's going to get more spicy. So be ready for that kind of thing. Along with that, we'll be talking about a lot of exciting new things, stuff I've learned over the past few months, and a lot of stuff I've been thinking about, such as how to deal with to jail, which I started recently. What to do if there's like an economic collapse, how would you prepare for that as a diabetic, and so much more. And along with the spicy new topics I'll be talking about and the spicy new opinions I'll be glad to share with you, we're also going to be verging out a little bit. We're going to be branching out to new platforms. Why is that? Well, look around you right now. There's a reason I'm making this post today and not yesterday, not the day before that, not tomorrow. There's been a lot of censorship recently. A lot of people who have had certain dissenting opinions are being taken down from Twitter, from Facebook, from Instagram, from YouTube, from everything. Even the president himself, who never really did anything wrong other than go against the mainstream narrative and say stuff that the establishment thought was wrong, he's banned from Twitter for life. They're really tightening the screws on dissenting thought. Now, before you get comfortable, and you think, oh, well, I'm not concerned about this, I'm not on that side of the political spectrum, that's not going to affect me. Bad news. This isn't about left versus right. This isn't about politics. That's just part of the beginning. This is about dissenting thought. This is about going against the mainstream narrative. And guess what? Tame Type 1 goes against the mainstream narrative in health. Dr. Bernstein goes against the mainstream narrative. We are dissenting opinions awash in a sea of high-carb dogma. And if you think that giant corporations censoring the president or censoring this guy or that guy or whoever goes against the mainstream thought is all that's going to happen, you're wrong. And you're honestly being naive. You know, I've already been shadow banned. I've already been taken down from Facebook, and so have many other carnivores, low-carb advocates, because we go against the grain, literally and figuratively. The truth is, and this has become far too apparent for anyone with their eyes open, is that none of us are safe. I don't care what your politics are, whether you're left or right or in the middle or wherever you go, none of us are safe from the ever-present hammer of big tech censorship by Twitter, by Facebook, by all these big companies who only want certain opinions on their platforms. That's going to hit us eventually. It's not a matter of if, but when. That means me, that means you, that means groups like Type 1 Grit, which, I love Type 1 Grit, but you guys are going to need a plan B, because Facebook has taken groups down just like yours for a lot less in the past, and they're only going to get worse. So you need to have a plan B, and that's what I'm going to do starting now. I'm going to have a plan B. I'm going to be having an account on Parler, on Gab, on Telegram, on BitChute, maybe even Rumble. And through also posting all my content on these platforms, through getting involved on these platforms, everyone will have a way to see what I'm doing and keep in touch without me getting censored. Because, again, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. I encourage anyone watching this, I don't care where you lean politically, but if you're watching this and you're against the mainstream narrative on health, on carbs, on diabetes, you need to join in with me. Because we're not long for these platforms. It only takes one corporation, which, That's who they're beholden to, talking and going, "Hey, they're going against the CDC's guidelines or the ADA's guidelines on health. You need to do something about it." And they will. They'll ban you, they'll block you too. You're not safe from this. You're not safe from this. So you need to make a plan B. You need to get, and I'm not even saying you need to get off of Facebook or you need to get off of YouTube. Go stay on it if you want, but have a plan B. I'm going to be doing the same thing. I'm still going to be posting videos on Facebook. I'm still going to be posting on here, frequently, or at least a lot more frequently than I have been. But I'm also going to be on these other websites that aren't going to censor me, because I never know when suddenly Tame Type 1 on Facebook or Tame Type 1 on YouTube just ceases to exist because it's been banned out of nowhere for no reason. It can happen to me. It'll happen to you too. My Instagram's already been banned. Join me on these platforms. Follow me on there as well. Follow me on Telegram, on BitChute, on Gab, on Parler. They're not hard platforms to get on. They're just as simple as Facebook or Twitter. Get on them and follow me on there. I'll have links to all of those different platforms below, straight to my profile. And that way, no matter what happens, whether I get censored here or not, you can always follow along and learn how to tame your type 1 the right way. So that was my message to you guys today. They've been really tightening the screws on dissenting thought, and I'm going to do what I can to make sure that my dissenting opinion on health, on carbohydrates, is never censored. I mean, we're going to get to a point where all my videos are going to have a fact check under them saying, "Fact check, the ADA recommends a high-carb, low-fat diet for diabetics." All sorts of crazy stuff like that. I don't want that to happen. I don't want to be censored. I don't want to be shadow banned, and I don't want to have to just sit down and take it, So I'm going to go on these alternate platforms where they are big on free speech rather than big on only their corporate establishment opinion, their little box. If you don't fit in that, you're not allowed. And I encourage everyone watching this to do the same. I'm going to be fairly active on there. I'll be active on here too on Facebook and YouTube, so don't worry. I'm not leaving you hanging. But all of us need a plan B. All of us need to get on these platforms and not rely too much on the ones that seem to be ever more keen to censor anyone that goes against the mainstream narrative. Along with all this censorship, let me explain why I stopped making videos in the first place, because that ties right into it. Turns out that a lot of my opinions are ones that go against the opinion even outside Tame Type 1, and certain people didn't like that, and for one reason or another, I myself got censored off of Facebook. And after that happened, honestly, I was just turned off by it. I thought, why would I slave away all my time and effort for a company that doesn't want me? Turns out I'm not doing it for them, I'm doing it for you guys. So I'm going to keep making new content because I know that the people who benefit from it need it. That the people who want to learn more about low-carb diabetes, about taming their type 1 and managing diabetes in a way where they're actually going to live a long time, is more important than my misgivings with Facebook, okay? So I'm going to keep making videos. I'm going to be going on these alternate platforms because who knows how long this channel will still be up, and I encourage you to do the same. Because in the end, managing diabetes the right way is a constant daily struggle. And you know what? This has been a struggle too, but it is 100% worth it. So guys, I'll see you next time. Can't wait to give you some more spicy new ideas, new content, and new strategies and ways of taming your type 1 the right way. I'm excited to go along this journey with you guys. Keep continuing on it. For now, keep taming that type 1, and I'll see you next time.